What is going on, you guys? It's Extreme here, and welcome back to another episode of my Road to Max Prestige. This is episode 157, and in today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about the Black Ops 3 beta. Yeah, I got to play it. Apparently, Treyarch and Activision decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and open it up to everybody, and they did that. This past Friday, they opened it up, and I got to play it, and I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it, but I want to talk to you guys about some of the things that I noticed inside the beta, some things I hope will get changed before the final product comes out, and some things that I liked and disliked overall. But so let's get into the, I guess you could say, I had it separated by good and bad things, but truthfully, these are just things I noticed. So the one thing I noticed that really bothered me was the time to kill is really fast. Now, it's not with all guns, but some guns, the time to kill, it's somewhat instant. And that's something I want to see get tweaked to some extent. Now, I don't know if it's one of the attachments that was doing this or what, but, and this kind of goes into another thing I had issue with, which is the weapon balancing. The weapon balancing seemed a little uneven. The weapons definitely felt like some of them were more powerful than others, some of them were weaker, and then some were just straight up fucking Nerf guns. So if they can balance the guns more and adjust the time to kill, that would make it awesome. You know, I understand, of course, they want some guns to be powerful and some not to be super powerful, but some of the guns were outright unusable in certain situations, and yeah, that needs to get fixed. So those are the number one things I had issue with overall. Some other things that I liked about the beta, or, you know, had issue with, whatever, was the specialist feature. I like the specialist feature. I like what it adds to the game. I like that, you know, you have this ability that you can kind of not rely on, but that will be useful in one way or another. Now, I don't know if I've got this wrong, but the Prophet, I don't know if it's the name of his gun or what, but or if that's the name of the specialist, but this gun he had, this electric rifle thing, I found myself using it less to try and get kills and more to take out kill streaks. I'm not even joking. I found out that you could use it to take out kill streaks, and I thought, man, that's pretty fucking useful. So I enjoyed that a lot, and I wound up using Nomad's Hive. That was, oh man, you talk about claymores and shit. Fuck, dude, if you can put those things in the right spot, I was getting a lot of kills with that thing. So yeah, the specialist abilities and the weapons were good. However, some of the abilities need a buff. And I know some people are gonna say, what the fuck, but I think the rejack ability needs to have a sense of invulnerability when you use it. And this is simply because I never used it. I'm not gonna lie, I never used it, so I don't know if it's as weak as it seems to me, but I would have a guy do rejack, and then as soon as he spawned, he was dead. Like, insta dead. So yeah, maybe a little bit of a time period of invulnerability when they rejack, you know, like a protection or something, because otherwise that ability is useless. Some of the other abilities, like the vision pulse, is way too short. What was the other one? The chick who has like the golden gun, the hand cannon, whatever you want to call it. Her ability is essentially giving you double score, which is cool if it lasted longer, you know. I would have preferred her ability to kind of be one of those things where it's kind of like support. And I don't know if there is a character that has that specialist ability. If there is, I'm fucking running it. Because god damn, man, it was so hard to get kills in this game. Oh my god, it was so hard to get kills in this game. It got downright frustrating at times with how hard it was to get kills consecutively. And one of the things I like about the specialist or support in Advanced Warfare and in Ghosts was that you didn't have to worry about getting kills to still, you know, get some kind of a streak going for you. And while people may complain about support, I like it. You know, if support actually was support type stuff, you know, UAVs and things of that sort, then I would be more willing. I'd still be willing to use it because it allows me to get a streak going and have fun. I didn't feel the streaks, you know, I felt some of the score streaks were too costly in a game that could have used less of it, you know what I mean? I don't know. Speaking of score, I think the maps are good. Okay, I like the maps. I like the 3-lane, you know, feel, but there is some sense of, you know, like kind of like a maze feel to some of the maps, and some of the maps, for me, just felt like way too close quartery. I prefer maps like this where I've got, you know, long lines of sight where I can, you know, use an AR. I can kind of hold down a position and do my thing. And there were several maps that just did not have that, and it kind of, granted there was only 3 or 4 maps available, it still felt very like it's not so fun. I don't like this map. There are certain maps I just do not want to play on ever again for certain game modes. And speaking of the game modes, I like the game modes. I really like Safeguard. That was fun. I do think they need to kind of, I don't know, there's got to be a buff for that somewhere. There's got to be something. The game mode can be a little confusing if you're brand new to it, and it was fun, but I'd like to see some tweaking. And overall with the game modes, I think the score needs to be adjusted for certain game modes. Maybe a little less score, maybe a little more score in some others, you know, one or the other. Another thing I'd like to see is I would like to see the placement of certain objectives for the objective game types. I'd like to see them adjusted in some way, because some of them feel they favor too much to one side in certain situations, and no, that needs to get a little tweaking. Beyond that, I didn't really have too much of an issue with that kind of stuff. Let's see what else. Kill streaks. I like the kill streaks. Some of them are amazing, and then some of them are just downright what the fuck. A perfect example of a kill streak that I was straight up just annoyed with and got really tired of killing myself using was that goddamn dart. I don't know what the intended idea for that was, but it just doesn't work. It's too difficult to use, even for someone first time using it, or you've used it a few times. The damn thing needs something, either slowed down when it's in flight, or maybe you throw it and it kind of goes like a javelin and goes straight up or something. I don't know. It needs some type of tweaking. And then some of the other score streaks, for the cost, don't feel as powerful. They feel very weak. So maybe some tweaking with the score streaks, either how powerful they are, or if they have more defense, whatever. They need to feel worth it, and some of them just didn't feel worth it. So that's a thing. I like the fact that you can put 6 attachments on your gun. Holy crap. And this is the last little thing I want to talk about. I'm not a big fan of the pick 10 system. I never have been. I don't like how it limits, you know, your class in one aspect or another. And I know, as you guys can probably hear, a fucking police alarm going off in the background. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think it's gone. Ish. I know the gunsmith is going to play into your guns attachments and whatnot when you go into the pick 10 system, kind of like they work now, where you get the variants. Some of them have attachments for advanced warfare. If that is true, and you can put X number of attachments on in gunsmith and it not count towards your pick 10, I'll be happy. But overall, I enjoyed the beta, and there's one thing I do want to stretch like clearly to you guys. This is a beta. This is not the final game. This is not the final product. Don't take it for granted. As much as I enjoyed playing it, I had to stop because I realized this isn't the final game. And as much as I want to invest all this time into it, and I want to keep playing it, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to get too locked into the theory that this is what the game's going to be in November. But it was very fun, and that's the one thing that Call of Duty, for me at least, has been missing the last 2 years, is fun. I can't wait for November, and I'm going to make a very bold statement right now, you guys. I will reach max prestige in Black Ops 3, because if I don't, the next season of Road to Max Prestige will be the last season. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will be back on Wednesday with another one. Until next time, adios. It's easier to tell the story. I don't have to worry about explaining too much in that regard. But the one thing that is going to kind of also change is I'm no longer going to give the women different names. They're all going to be called Jane. And the reason for this is, unless there is someone I specifically want to talk to you guys about, or I have multiple stories about, they're going to get the name Jane. Case in point, today's story, the lady has the name Jane. Again, not her real name. Okay, I have no idea why this guy decided to start swinging at me. Anyways, so Jane and I met, and I almost gave away timeline. I gotta get used to doing that, man. So when me and Jane met,